Welcome back to Positive Solutions for Families. This is session 4. My name is Ellen Olson. I work for Cornell Cooperative Extension of Oneida County in the Child Care Council. For more information on Positive Solutions for Families, to get a copy of the Positive Solutions for Families workbook, or if you have questions or want information on any of our programs, please see cceoneida.com. Positive Solutions for Families, Session 4, Teach Me What to Do. Welcome back to our 4th Positive Solutions for Families. Today we're going to talk about Teach Me What to Do. Let's talk about your things to try at home activities. Did you get a chance to observe your child and try to determine the meaning of their behavior? How did your detective work go? As you observed one of your child's behaviors over the last week, what did you learn about your child? What did you think your child was trying to communicate? What did your child do? What did you do? Was it hard for you to figure out what your child was trying to tell you? If it was hard for you, it's going to take more practice. The more practice, the better it'll get, and the more you'll learn about your child. The other thing that we talked about trying at home this week was developing and teaching household rules. Did your child help you develop the rules? How did it go? Did you notice a difference in your child's behavior when they understood your expectations? Do you think your child understood the rules? Before we begin, I'd like you to turn to activity number 13 in your workbook and complete your parent encouragement and positive comment form. You all did a great job, and you really deserve it. Now, let's get started with today's topic. Teach me what to do. You have probably heard a lot about the importance of vocabulary skills for young children, teaching children to read and write. There has also been a lot of talk about the importance of emotional vocabulary. Emotional vocabulary is the ability to recognize, label, and understand feelings in oneself and others. It's the foundation for children's ability to control their emotions, develop relationships, interact with others, and become effective problem solvers. It is one of the most important areas of development during a child's early years. Children with a strong foundation in emotional vocabulary tolerate frustration better, get into fewer fights, engage in less destructive behavior. They're healthier, they're less lonely, they're less impulsive, they're more focused, and they have greater academic achievement. This slide shows how important it is for us to teach our children about emotions. Today, we're going to talk about the many ways in which you can build your child's emotional vocabulary. Let's get started. In order for children to become effective at controlling their emotions, they need words to describe their own and others' emotions. When young children are asked how they are feeling, they often respond with good, or bad and miss all the subtle graduations in between. Enhancing emotional vocabulary. This is handout number 14 in your Positive Solutions for Families workbook. You can help your child and children enhance and expand their emotional vocabulary by helping them learn words for different feelings and use these words to label their own feelings and the feelings of others. You can also help them understand that their feelings can change. They may wake up grumpy, but they don't have to stay grumpy all day. You can help them learn that they can have more than one feeling about something. They can feel differently from someone else about the same thing. And all feelings are valid. It's what we do with them that counts. As children's emotional vocabularies grow, their ability to accurately read their own and other people's emotions grow too. This gives your child more tools to use instead of challenging behavior. It's sort of like building a house. You're going to get really frustrated if you don't have the tools you need to be successful. What are some feeling words that you can or do teach to your children? Are they mainly positive? What about words to express negative emotions? Look in your workbooks at Enhancing Emotional Vocabulary handout. It's handout number 14. This is a list of complex feeling words that typically developing children between the ages of 3 to 5 should know. It's quite a list, isn't it? You can help your child develop increased emotional vocabulary by talking about these feeling words in everyday life. It's one of the best ways to teach feeling words is for you to label your own emotions throughout the day. You might say to your child, "You look surprised. Your mouth is open and your eyes are wide. What happened? What surprised you?" You can also describe your feelings. "I feel sad. It makes me happy when Grandma visits, but I feel sad when she leaves. I miss her." Feeling faces is another way to teach words and how faces look when they feel these emotions. You can copy these. There is a copy of these faces in your workbooks. You can cut them out and use them with your children. You can make fun games with the faces such as bingo, or you can just talk about the faces and emotions. Remember, to keep your children interested in the activity, you need to be fun and engaging. We all know children love to sing and dance. This is a fun way to teach your children feeling words and expand on those words by talking what you can do when you experience these emotions. If you're mad and you know it, use your words. "I'm mad." Have fun with your child. So this is words that you can use with the tune "If You're Happy and You Know It." And you can use this to help your child recognize and be excited about using emotion words. If you're happy and you know it, hug your mom. If you're happy and you know it, hug your dad. Another one could be, if you're sad and you know it, cry a tear. Boo-hoo. If you're sad and you know it, cry a tear. Boo-hoo. If you're mad and you know it, use your words. "I'm mad." If you're mad and you know it, use your words. "I'm mad." If you're scared and you know it, get some help. "Please help." If you're scared and you know it, get some help. "Please help." Now we're going to look at a story that can help us talk to our children about feelings.
Glad Monster, Sad Monster, a book about feelings by Ed Emberley and Anne Miranda. The yellow monster says, opening birthday presents, playing ball, slurping ice cream, and dancing with my friend make me glad. The red monster says, being bugged by a bug, getting splashed, being laughed at when I fall down, and having someone knock over my blocks make me angry. The pink monster says, making valentines, rocking baby monster, baking muffins with Grammy Monster, and hugging wiggly puppies make me feel loving. The blue monster says, waving goodbye, watching my snow monster melt, losing my big blue balloon, and having it rain on parade day make me sad. The orange monster says, listening to a terrible thunderstorm, imagining what's hiding under my bed, seeing little creepy crawly things, and being chased by grumpy growly things worry me. The green monster says, growling, showing my sharp white teeth, waving my hands in the air and saying, shoo, shoo, and boo, boo, make me very scary. The purple monster says, being upside down, making funny faces, wearing big monster's clothes, and goinking around make me feel silly.
Using books is a great way to support emotional vocabulary skills and teach feeling words. Reading books to children helps build emotional vocabulary, understanding, and social emotional skills. Most importantly, reading books with your children is a great way to spend time together and refill your child's relationship tank. We just read Glad Monster, Sad Monster. We use this example because you have a book nook, handout number 15, you have a book nook, which is in your Positive Solutions for Families workbook. It's handout number 15. When you read this book to your children, be sure to make it engaging. Use funny voices for each different monster. Ask them how they look when they feel scary or silly or loving. Use different voices, ask them questions. What makes you scared? Show me your scared face. What does your body do when you're scared? What does it feel like? Can you tell me about a time you felt scared? Point out things about the pictures. It's really important to engage your children when you read books together. Use fun voices, encouraging children to point something out in the pictures, making songs, sounds, and singing songs related to the book, and asking children to help you read or tell the story. Look at your book nook handout in your workbook. That's handout number 15. This has lots of fun ideas that you can use while reading the book, as well as activities you can do afterward. There is also a children's book list in your workbook with some examples of other books that support support social emotional learning. Select books based on your child's age and interests. The librarian at your local library can be very helpful in selecting the right book for your child's age. If you're not sure, just ask them, they'll help you out. These are some other books that you can use to teach social emotional skills. On Monday When It Rained is about disappointment and other feelings. Hands Are Not for Hitting. Now, let's move on to a new topic, controlling anger and impulse. We've been talking about helping our children learn to recognize and name their own emotions and feelings. This is an important step for children in learning how to control their emotions. A child has to recognize that he or she feels angry before he or she can learn how to control that emotion. Having a label for what a child feels helps him or her to vocalize this feeling. I'm mad, instead of acting out. Have you ever told your child to calm down and he or she has just kept doing what they were doing? Ever wonder why? Young children are often told to calm down, but what does that really mean? We have to make sure the child understands what we're asking them to do. Remember in our last session, we talked about being clear about our expectations? How can young children be successful at responding if they don't know what we're asking? What do we mean by calm down? Children feel anger in different ways, just like grown-ups do. The school of hard knocks, our life experiences may have taught most of us by now when to walk away, to cool down, to be cautious, or to get help. But young children don't have those skills yet. They haven't learned them. We can help them learn this by intentionally teaching them the skills that they need. Turtle tuck. This is Tucker Turtle, and this is the turtle tuck. This technique was originally developed to teach adults anger management skills. It has been adapted and integrated into social skills program for preschoolers. It's called the turtle tuck. Here's how you can teach your child about the secret of the turtle and how Tucker uses his shell to help him calm down. The basic steps of this technique are, number one, recognize that you feel angry. The second step is think, stop. Think, stop. The third step is go into your shell. Take 3 deep breaths and think calming thoughts. It was an accident. I can calm down. I can think of good solutions. I'm a problem solver. I'm safe. I can handle this. Breathe. Come out of your shell when you're calm and try to think of some solutions. Last session, when we talked about timeout, this is a perfect place to use Tucker Turtle technique. Take 3 deep breaths. Think, I'm safe. I can handle this. Breathe. Come out of your shell when you are calm and try to think of some solutions. You can help your child practice the turtle secret with you by pretending to go into your shells together and taking 3 deep breaths. You can also use a table or box as a turtle shell. Tucker Turtle takes time to tuck and think. You can use the Tucker Turtle technique and teach your child how to use it by reading this story. Tucker Turtle takes time to think. Tucker Turtle is a terrific turtle. He likes to play with his friends at the park and in his backyard. But sometimes things happen that can make Tucker really mad. When Tucker got mad, he used to hit, kick, or yell at his friends. His friends would get mad or upset when he hit, kicked, or yelled at them. Tucker now knows a new way to think like a turtle when he gets mad. He can stop and keep his hands, body, and yelling to himself. He can tuck inside his shell and take 3 deep breaths to calm down. I'm safe. I can handle this. Breathe. Tucker can then think of a solution to make it better. Tucker's friends are happy when he plays nicely and keeps his body to himself. His friends also like it when Tucker uses nice words or has an adult help him when he is being upset. The end. There's also a turtle pattern in your workbook to make a turtle with your child. You can help your child cut out the pieces and attach them to a paper plate. Your child can decorate the turtle shell to make it a special turtle. And then you and your child can talk about a time when he or she was mad and have the paper plate turtle go into his shell and think of good solutions. If you want your child to learn the turtle tuck, you need to teach the skills step by step. Provide many opportunities for review and practice. Practice, practice. Encourage your child to use the Tucker Turtle Tuck and celebrate his or her successes. It's another great way to fill or refill his or her relationship tank. You may want to show your child that you can use the Turtle Tuck too. For example, you might say, I am so angry that the vacuum cleaner is broken. I am going to go in my shell and take 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. I am safe. I can handle this. I feel better now. I think I know what to do. When you model these behaviors, it is the strongest way to teach your children how well that they work. I know what to do. I can look at the manual and fix the vacuum. The manual is a book that came with the vacuum, or I can sweep the floor with a broom until the vacuum is fixed. What do you think I should do? We can also help our children practice ways to handle disappointment before a potentially disappointing incident occurs. For example, you know that your child will be very disappointed if someone else is on his or her favorite swing at the playground. Before you leave for the playground, you could say, when we go to the playground, someone else might be on your favorite swing and you might feel disappointed. What could you do to stay calm? You could remind your child of the turtle tuck and help him or her think of solutions such as asking for a turn, saying please, or finding something else to do while the other child is on the swing. There are also times when you can use naturally occurring opportunities to strengthen your child's interest in successfully coping. Wow, Dad, you should have seen how well Tamika did at the playground today. She used her turtle tuck to stay calm when someone was on her favorite swing. She played in the sandbox until the swing was available. She was such a good problem solver. This is also a great way to use positive comments and encouragement. Remember, especially doing it in front of somebody else. And this is refilling your child's relationship tank. Now that we've talked about the turtle tuck, we can see that one of the really important steps in this technique is being able to problem solve and think of solutions. We need to teach children to do this. Many children solve their problems by using challenging behaviors, such as hitting, shouting, or running away from the problem. Even very young children can be taught to be more effective and find appropriate ways to problem solve. One way children learn problem-solving strategies is by watching the adults around them during times of conflict. This is an important thing to think about. Think about the last time you resolved a conflict with your spouse or significant other. What strategies did your child observe? Calm negotiation and conversation, or sarcasm and screaming? If young children observe adults effectively and appropriately resolving conflicts or solving problems, they learn a tremendous amount about positive problem solving. This is enhanced if you model problem solving, thinking, and self-talk out loud. Remember, first practice your calming skills, your Tucker Turtle. I'm safe. I can handle this. Breathe. And then when you're calm, come to your spouse or partner and say, we have a problem. What are some solutions? Let's problem solve together. When your child sees this working for you, they will be more apt to try it. Let's try an example. Uh-oh, the car won't start and we need to get to school. How can I solve this? I need to stop and think first. Okay, I need to think of some solutions. I could call Aunt Meg and see if she could take you to school. We could catch the bus, or I could ask the neighbor for a jump start. Another way to help children problem solve is to learn to use these 4 steps. These steps are on a handout in your workbook, Positive Solutions for Families. It's handout number 19. The first step is to figure out what the problem is. What is my problem? The second step is to brainstorm some solutions. Think of a lot of solutions. Think. The third step is think about what would happen if I tried that solution. So thinking about consequences. Is that a good choice or is that a bad choice? Is this a safe choice? What might happen if we do that? And then step 4 is to try out the best solution. Help your child think of positive solutions. It's also important that you support your child in learning what some positive solutions might be. Remember, we'll need to teach our children to problem solve. They don't just know how to come up with solutions. It's not something that just happens. They have to learn that. Review the examples listed on the next slide. This is a long list and it's important not to try the entire list at one time. Pick one or 2 solutions to focus on and practice these first. You can also talk about different solutions when you're waiting at the grocery store, in a car, or in a restaurant. These are just some problem-solving games. Just think about what you could do. What if your sister hit you? How would you feel? What could you do? What if you wrote on mommy's bedroom wall with a marker? How would you feel? How do you think mommy would feel? What could you do? What if you knocked over your friend's tower at school? How would you feel? How do you think your friend would feel? What could you do? What if you and your sister wanted to watch something different on television? That's a hard one. What could you do? What if someone at school was teasing you and calling you names? How would you feel? What could you do? Here are some more. What if it was bedtime and you wanted to hear one more book? What could you do? What if daddy sent you to timeout for hitting your brother? How would you feel? How do you think your brother would feel? How do you think daddy would feel? What could you do? What if you really wanted a toy at the toy store, but mommy said you could not have it? How would you feel? What could you do? What if you really wanted to play with your sister and her friends, but they said no? How would you feel? What could you do? Remember, don't try all of these at once. Choose one and try it while you're waiting in line at the grocery or while you're waiting for your food to come at the restaurant. Try out different ones and practice the problem-solving steps. This will help your child know what to do when they have a problem. Then you can also role play the best solution. That will help your child learn to see the consequences. Asking your child how the other person feels will help them learn to understand empathy. You can also use props such as puppets, dolls, or stuffed animals. That will help your child stay engaged and interested while they're learning new skills. A great way to teach your child problem solving is to teach this skill when your child is facing or about to face a real problem or difficult solution. You should look for and anticipate these kinds of situations. For example, if you and your child are going to a play group and you know that he or she always gets upset when there's someone playing with their favorite toy, you could say, sometimes when we go to the play group, there's someone else playing with your favorite truck and you get upset. What could you do if that happens today? Let's think of some solutions. Or you might see your child approach a friend who has a toy and your child wants it. In anticipation of your child grabbing the toy, you could say, if you want to play with the toy, remember the way to ask. In order to teach problem solving in the moment, you have to be nearby and ready to help your child when a problem is about to occur. You will then be able to support your child in identifying the problem and helping him or her think of a solution. When your child solves a problem, be sure to give him or her encouragement and positive comments, just like we talked about it way back in our first session. You can do that through encouraging touches, a pat on the back, a high five, a hug, or a gesture such as a wink or a thumbs up, or just simply by saying, that was good problem solving, what a great thinker you are, or something like that. All of these provide opportunities for you to refill your child's relationship tank. This is what we talked about in today's session. Intentionally teaching our child to use the steps and the techniques that we've talked about today will help support your child's social emotional development and prevent challenging behaviors. Now it's time for our things to try at home. You have 2 things to try at home this week. The first one is to pick some of the strategies or ideas that we talked about and write 3 ideas that you can do with your child to strengthen his or her emotional vocabulary skills. Remember, this is naming the feelings and helping your child come up with those words. The second is helping your child learn the turtle technique and problem-solving strategies. Think about some of the behaviors you want to see less of. This could be a great opportunity to teach your child a new skill so they don't have to use that behavior. This is activity number 20 in your workbook. The other activity, we're going to continue to try to practice observing behavior and trying to determine what the meaning of that behavior. Pick a behavior you really want to change. For the last 2 sessions, we're going to work on ways to support your child in changing that behavior. Thank you so much for being with us for Positive Solutions for Families. This is the end of part 4. Remember, for a Positive Solutions for Families workbook, or if you have any questions or want any more support and resources on the material, you can contact me, Ellen Olson, at elp32@cornell.edu. Thank you kindly. See you next time.